Hello, I'm Dan Rather. Welcome to the CBS Evening News Online Edition. Just ahead, remembering actor Christopher Reeve. We examine his career and the challenges he faced. Also, stem cell research. Christopher Reeve devoted himself to it. The impact he made is tonight's inside story. And a London institution faces extinction, and some are blaming America. It's all starting now on the CBS Evening News Online Edition. Family, friends, and fans are mourning Christopher Reeve, the actor and medical research activist. Reeve died yesterday of complications from an infection at a hospital north of New York City. He was 52. Confined to a wheelchair for the last 9 years of his life, he first flew to movie stardom in 1978. As an actor, Christopher Reeve was best known for his role in the 4 Superman movies.
I'm here to fight for truth and justice in the American way.
As a man, he was known for his courage.
You have to say, I deny these limitations. There are no limitations.
He appeared in 38 movies, both before and after the devastating horseback accident in 1995 that left him paralyzed from the neck down. Reeve's wife, Dana, has been by his side ever since.
You see that blonde down there?
Yeah, man.
Wave back to her for me.
In 1998, Reeve produced and starred in a new version of Rear Window, for which he won a Screen Actors Guild Award for Best Actor.
Hello, Clark. I've been expecting you.
Last year, he returned to his Superman roots, appearing in a television series about the young Clark Kent. But his true legacy won't be what he did on screen. He'll be best remembered as a tireless advocate for stem cell research.
I'm going to fight for the cure. I'm going to fight for funding. I'm going to fight for change.
And so he did. Christopher Reeve leaves his wife and 3 children and many, many fans. With his death, Christopher Reeve is remembered not just for playing the Man of Steel, but for his steely resolve to push the limits of research on spinal cord injuries. He did more than talk the talk to help find a new way to walk. A CBS News medical correspondent report from Elizabeth Caledon gives you the inside story.
Christopher Reeve's paralyzing injuries cast him in a new role, and he was a natural. As a passionate spokesman for people with spinal cord injuries, he urged politicians, the United Nations, even Hollywood's elite to do more for the disabled. He pushed research into spinal cord injuries to the forefront, starting a foundation that trained doctors like Keith Tansey.
He really raised the bar and asked people to perform more faster.
Reeve was always seeking out the cutting edge in medicine. Dr. John McDonald worked with him for 5 years at Washington University's spinal cord injury program.
One of the unique qualities that Chris possessed is this incredible drive. I mean, he was one of the most focused individuals that I'd ever seen.
Reeve and McDonald were convinced that a brand new activity-based approach to reversing paralysis could work. Reeve spent hours in physical therapy, repeating simple motions, and he eventually saw unprecedented results when he could move his limbs in water.
Not only did he extend his life well beyond what any average individual would have, but he demonstrated that substantial recovery of function was possible.
When he wasn't pushing himself to the outer limits, Reeve was trying to convince others to go there. He lobbied members of Congress to allow federal funding of embryonic stem cell research, one of the key issues in the current campaign.
Chris Reeve is a friend of mine.
John Kerry's nod to him during last week's presidential debate shows just how central a figure Reeve had become in the future of stem cell research.
Without leaving his wheelchair, he was able to make great strides towards a cure.
Christopher Reeve always set his sights high. His goal was nothing short of being able to walk again, and he gave millions the same hope. The heroic leading man on film, and even greater inspiration in life. Elizabeth Caledon, CBS News, New York.
Finally tonight, a long-standing London tradition is about to disappear, and it means Londoners and tourists alike will have to get used to a new way of getting around town. Whose fault is that? CBS's Mark Phillips has our report.
London's much-loved old hop-on, hop-off Routemaster buses are being retired, and now traditionalists have found someone new to blame: Americans. For 50 years, people have been hopping on and off the buses with abandon, sometimes too much abandon, onto moving buses, off into lanes of traffic, and it's taken its toll.
On average, unfortunately, one person a year dies as a result of falling off the back of a Routemaster bus.
One person too many, and the wrong kind of person, if a widely reported story here is to be believed. The story is that a man a little shaky on his feet one night fell off the back of one of these. What's worse, he was a lawyer. What's even worse, he was an American lawyer. He sued for about $5 million. The American litigation culture had arrived, and the bus's days were numbered.
I think it's a growing trend throughout British society to seek compensation.
It's also a growing trend to complain about too much government protection in a so-called nanny state.
If you come on these buses, it's up to you to take the responsibility of looking after yourself.
The new replacement buses are modern, safe, accessible to the disabled, and, critics say, boring.
If you start eroding, take away the red phone boxes, the black cabs, the red bus, or these particular buses, you might as well start building flats in Buckingham Palace.
But there will be no new apartments built anytime soon in Buckingham Palace, and pretty soon there'll be no more Routemaster buses, except for a token few on so-called heritage routes. And presumably, there will be fewer frightened tourists. What do you think these buses are?
What?
Yeah.
Scary.
Mark Phillips, CBS News, London.
More stories are just a click away. But don't forget to join me on television for the on-air edition of the CBS Evening News. On Tuesday's broadcast, the so-called death tax, the inheritance tax. It's a political hot potato. Where the candidates stand on it in CBS's election series, what does it mean to you? For CBSNews.com, I'm Dan Rather.